We would advocate earlier assessment in schools for pupils' abilities so that we could target them towards specific careers. We would also be in favour of increasing funding for companies and pushing for a greater amount of apprenticeships to be taken up.
My proposal for childcare is a centre of excellence in Tallaght, where we get all the services that are around the area together. Instead of working individually, that they will work together as a team and supply quality childcare for all the needs that are in the area.
So no, I don't agree with the sugar tax. I'm in favour of people having better health. The way to do that is to have better investment in public health programmes, to have like traffic light labelling on food, have strict regulations so people know what they're eating, to give people that. But I don't think we should penalise those who eat higher sugar content products.
Well, Sinn Féin is a grassroots-led movement, and from our work in the community we can see the devastating effects that these cuts have had, from the family resource centres, we depend on volunteers, to the drug rehabilitation projects, and there's a ripple effect. So the programmes themselves are cut, and that has a ripple effect out among the wider family circle of the people who are attending these programmes. So definitely that's something that Sinn Féin want to focus on, is rejuvenating and funding properly our community organisations.
We will continue the policy of providing DEIS funding and supporting DEIS funding to schools, because it's through that policy that we will maintain school meals, we will have breakfast clubs in schools, we'll have support for after-school projects, and it's through education we overcome poverty. That's the direct element of funding. Other than that, we will continue to support the community sector that are dealing directly with families and the voluntary sector, of course, the Vincent de Paul, MABs, and we will continue our support for them.
No, I'm not in favour of abolishing property tax, but on certain conditions. First of all, I think the tax needs to be fair. Secondly, I think the people need to know where the taxes that are being paid for on their property are going, and that that it does go directly into the local authority, that what they're being used for. Most of the people that I speak with don't mind paying a certain amount of tax in relation to their property, but what they do mind is they don't feel that they're getting anything for it. So if they knew what they were getting for it in terms of investment in public services, whether it's health or education, or indeed to support the development of social housing, I don't think people mind, but we need to know where the property tax is going.
I think you've got to make sure that low earners don't have taxes. I think first €400 of income should be tax-free, make it much easier for small businesses to operate so that they employ people, those people provide taxes, those people are in jobs, and then they don't have to receive social welfare. So when they have more money in their pockets, they'll be spending, and that's how the economy does. I believe no taxes on the first €400 and get rid of all tax, including the USC, to ensure that people have money in their pockets to spend and that they can actually afford to work, because work must pay.
Absolutely, I certainly do. I think direct investment into schools and other facilities is badly needed in Dublin South West. I think the area has been really underserved over the last 5 years, and I really think it's necessary that we see more funding into these facilities as well. And as well as that, a lot of young people are now working for a minimum wage, and I've been a vocal supporter of plans to increase the minimum wage to the living wage of $11.50. So they are my plans, and that's what I want to do for this constituency.
I would absolutely support it. Like a lot of people, I wasn't fully against the idea of paying separately for water at the start, but it's the way this government has gone about it, it's the unfairness about it, it's the danger that it could be privatised, and the financial model itself makes no sense whatsoever. It is barely investing a single cent additional into water than we were doing already on the council system. So it's really the unfairness that gets to people about it. I don't think people don't trust the government on it, and you have to wonder, when will the government start listening to the people?
Well, in my electoral area, I think the travelling community bring a lot to the area, and it depends on the travelling community themselves. Some prefer to live in full-time, long-term accommodation with the rest of the community, and then others just want suitable to stay within their own community. And I think what's happened last year was just a shocking crime on the travelling community, and this government used it then to fuel anti-race and anti-traveller issues, which was not acceptable. This is they're a part of our community and should be treated like so, and we should visit them for the answers.
Mental health is something that's very close to my heart, and it would be top of my spending investment criteria, particularly for Tallaght. I believe there is a real need in the area. Suicide for men is the highest rate of death for under 34-year-olds. We should invest more in Garda, supports the community there, and the Tallaght counselling service in the village and Pieta House. And there is not enough to work on the stigma still attached in Ireland about mental health.
I think the whole situation with modular housing, I don't think is the solution. We've mentioned it before in our own council that the price of a modular, and it isn't even a permanent structure, is about 160,000 to 180,000. There are houses for sale in Tallaght for 120,000. We're getting vulnerable families, putting them in a community, having them minded by the community instead of being marginalised and basically ghettoised in non-permanent structures.
Yes, I do. I think there's a crisis there. It's bubbling under the surface. I think we're being told one thing by senior management, but you talk to guards on the ground, there's clearly a problem there. Consistently, people be ringing up the station, having difficulty trying to get a car to respond or the guards to respond. I think we need to be much more proactive, but we need to see guards on the ground.
Yeah, well, I would see Renew as the party for small businesses. I'm a self-employed small business in Tallaght. I employ 4 people in staff printing on the Belgrade Road. Our first red line issue, if we are part of the next government, is to level the playing field for the self-employed and for small businesses. We also have to look at our indigenous enterprises, which are the biggest employers in the country. And I think locally we need to look at our commercial rates to encourage enterprises back into the South Dublin.